Got a special one today. We're going to be taking a look at the second ever resin scale figure here on the channel. I took a look at my first resin scale figure last year, which was a Honkai Star Rail figure of Kafka. If you haven't checked out the video, I'll leave it down below. But today we're taking a look at another Honkai Star Rail resin scale, and it's of Jingliu. I got a thing for chicks with swords. And when you add a blindfold on top of that, coolness level is just off the charts. Reminds me of my Maple Story character, actually. I do want to give a huge thanks to OSGK for helping make this video possible. They are a website that sells anime figures primarily relating to garage kits, aka resin scales. And this time they offered to send me the Jingliu figure that I wanted to take a look at. So huge thanks to them, because without them I wouldn't be making a video. As you guys know, I don't really buy resin scale figures. I usually just stick with official PVC licensed figures. Obviously, if I get the chance, you know I'm going to jump on it. Let me grab the box real quick. Here it is. As you can see, it's pretty huge. Oh, I also forgot to mention this is also made by Hikimi Studio, which is the same studio that did the Kafka that I took a look at. I was pretty impressed by their Kafka, so let's see if their Jingliu leaves me just as impressed. Oh my god, this thing is actually heavy. Oh my goodness. Unlike Kafka's box, this one is in landscape, whereas Kafka's was portrait. Oh my god. Oh, would you look at that? Oh, they even got corner guards on the inside as well. Oh, my goodness. All right, so here's the box. Nice blue color, of course. Jingliu, blue. Decent design. Image of the main figure on the front here. I'm assuming this says Jingliu on the front. Side profile, you do have another picture of the figure, except this time with her blindfold. On the side, you do have some slight faded pictures of her. And that's pretty much it for the box. Oh! So instead of white foam, it's black foam this time. It comes in 2 layers. I'm assuming this first layer has a lot of the smaller pieces, and then the second layer probably has all the stuff for the base. I think this looks a bit more complicated than Kafka's. Usually these resin scale figures don't come with instructions to assemble. They kind of just expect you to do it yourself. All right, I am gonna put on some gloves though. Whoa. Like Kafka's, you do get a little solid plate. It says Jingliu on the front. 162 out of 300. Jingliu's sword, I think. We have 2 of her headpieces. I gotta be very careful here. I don't want to break anything. Wow, that is insane. Oh, yeah, 1 piece broke. I'll try to fix this with super glue. It shouldn't be that bad of a fix. I can't even tell where it like fell off. I think that's it for this. All right, so we have Jingliu's main body. Oh, she's got another body piece. This one, she's wearing more of like a swimsuit. Unfortunately, unlike the Kafka one, I don't believe Jingliu's base actually lights up, so. Wow, that's crazy. Kind of hard to tell what broke off and what didn't break off. At least for the ice piece that fell off, I think it went in here. Oh yeah, it fits right there. Easy fix for glue. I think this is actually a secondary base if you just wanted to display her just by itself without the huge base, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. It's a little bit hard to see the moon. Probably just looks like a huge block of ice, but it's there. Yeah, you can see some of the craters. So I'm gonna assemble this as best as I can. So it goes on the back just like that. So we do have her main body piece. Nothing too crazy left. There's just a lot of ice crystal pieces here. Here's Jingliu's sword. More ice pieces. Now the one key feature of this figure that I really wanted to see is ice after images of Jingliu. This thing feels extremely delicate. Honestly, it feels like I could just break it just by looking at it. You have 3 swords. Then you have these small red and white tassels. Her 2 headpieces. So here's the first one. This one is without the blindfold. Here's the second headpiece with her blindfold on. Super cool. I'm probably going to be using this one for the most part, so. Okie dokie. Now, my least favorite part of this process, assembly. believe these go around the base on the bottom here. Now, I'm pretty sure all of these little icicle sticks go on the back. And 30 minutes later, there it is, Honkai Star Rail's Jingliu Ascend to the Divine Rank 1/6 scale resin figure by Hakimi Studio. And Hakimi Studio, you guys did it again. This Jingliu figure is superb. But before you guys get a little bit too excited, let's talk about the price. If you're familiar with resin-based figurines, you'll know that they come in different SKU options, a deluxe A variant, a B variant, and then there's a combination between the different A's with the B version. The deluxe A version that I have here is close to $500, which is quite expensive. The standard A edition comes with a similar base, but without the giant moon and the ice clones in the background. I don't know if you get the additional headpiece or not. Now, I don't have the B version here with me, but it's a completely separate figure pretty much. It's more on the not safe for work side. It comes with Bai Hung, and they're both wearing some nightgown lingerie type of deal. So yeah, $500. Now that is without shipping. I don't know how much shipping would be because I got sent this for the video, but you've already seen the size of the box. I think you can probably tell it's not going to be cheap, especially in the timeline we live in currently. Inside the box, of course, you will have the giant black foam wrapped in Velcro straps. Very nice. And on the inside, you will, of course, get the big ass huge base, ice stairway. Now, as you saw before, one of the icicles did actually break off of the base. I don't know if that was during shipping or if that was me pulling it out of the foam. But if you are one of the people who did buy this, be very careful when you're pulling it out of the foam. Not just the base, that goes for any piece because, oh man, this thing is fragile. You get the huge moon that goes on the back of the base. You get the ice clones that go on the moon. She's all in attacking poses. One in particular is based off of her ultimate pose when she's upside down. Very cool. A couple of more ice pieces that go all around the base as well. You get Jingliu's main body piece with, of course, her standard outfit. And then you get an extra body piece that comes with a risque swimsuit, which is right here. And also a little base for it as well, which is pretty cool. You get the two headpieces, one with the blindfold. This one is going to be the one I'm going to be using regularly. And then you get the other one without the blindfold, which I have on the extra body piece right now. You get her giant sword. I really like the colors here with the blue and the splashes of teal and pink. Very nice. And then last up, you get these three mini swords that go with the ice clones. Now, in terms of the assembly process, how should I describe this? I've never been so nervous assembling a figure in my life. Again, I'm not super familiar with resin-based figurines. I've only ever put together one prior in my lifetime, and that had a crap ton of magnets. It was great. I'm a big fan of magnets in figurines. It makes the process so easy and things just stay on. You don't gotta worry about them falling off if you need to like dust stuff. Jingliu, unfortunately, is like 50% magnets and then 50% the regular way. And the parts that go in the regular way, they don't fit very well. A majority of the base pieces are actually magnetized, which is great. These like little blasts of energy that circle around the bottom portion of the base, all magnetized. The only difficult part for you is probably going to be identifying the holes because the colors just kind of blend in. But after you find them, easy, magnetized, right? These icicles that stick on the back, magnetized. And the shapes are very defined, so they have very specific holes they have to fit into, so very easy to figure out. The ice clones, they also stick inside with magnets. It's great. Jingliu, however, when you're putting her onto the base, which by the way, the base itself, her right foot goes on this dragon claw in the center here. Super sick. When I initially tried to put her on the base and then tried taking her off of the base, the peg on her left foot broke clean off. Here's a picture. And it got stuck in there. It was a snug fit. I spent like 15 minutes trying to get it out. Eventually, I did get it out, and the breakage was so clean that I was able to just glue the peg right back on. That's why I don't have her in all the way, because I'm scared that's going to happen again. Second is the red tassels that go on her clothing. Now, the big red ribbon on the back actually fits in. It doesn't fall off. But the other two, the one that goes on her arm and the one that goes on the front side of her waist, oh man, these do not fit very well. Especially like the hole is so big, it doesn't actually physically fit inside. It just moves around in there. If you look closely, I actually have the red tassel just hanging off at the edge of it. And the one that goes on her arm does fit inside the hole, but it's still loose. It falls off really easily. I ended up grabbing some blue tack just to put it inside the hole so it actually stay there. I should probably do the same thing on the front, but I haven't yet. Now, these could all just be QC issues, because normally when you spend $500 on a figurine, you expect there to be no problems, but considering that this is an unofficially licensed product from a third party, there's not really much I can say. Again, I'm not well versed when it comes to resin figurines, but just something to know. Previous Kafka had no problems because everything was just magnetized, which is great. Now, in comparison to the promotional photos, because when it comes to figurines, usually the promo photos turn out a little bit different than the retail products. This is no exception. I mean, this does look pretty close to the promo photos, but it's not exact. Biggest difference to me that I noticed immediately is the hair color. Jingliu in the promotional photos has white hair, but in reality on the retail unit, her hair is a light blue. I don't know if Jingliu is supposed to have white hair or not, but in a lot of the artwork, it looks a lot more like a light blue than a white. Second thing I noticed is that this ice clone on the right side here, in the promotional photos, has a full right leg, but in the retail unit, they actually cut her leg off. Now, is it worth $500? Well, that's really up for you to decide. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but for me, when I take a look at this thing, I immediately understand why some people decide to skip buying official figurines and then go for the third-party resin stuff, because this is what they go for, man. The really huge, intricately designed, huge diorama as a base, and the thing looks beast. Super sick. Plus, a really cool name for the figure, Ascend to the Divine Rank. Seriously, it looks amazing. Now, of course, when it comes to like the detailing, I'd say it's good, but it's not amazing altar quality, for example, right? Again, third party, unofficial. And I know it's expensive, but you're more or less paying for the whole thing rather than the small, minute details on the figurine. So her outfit is pretty good. The gold trims, cloud-based patterns, but there's definitely some spots here and there that do look a little bit messy. Same goes with the paint job, pretty solid. I mean, her outfit itself, where the blue is, there's not a whole ton of shading, but where there is shading, for example, the gradient on her dress with the white to light blue and her hair as well. The sculpt, the facial expression's good. It doesn't look like a deformed character, so A+ for that. The one with the blindfold, you didn't really need to mess up on the eyes there. It's very easy because you just put a blindfold, half the work's done. There you go. Same with the small details like on the ice clones, their fingers, very nice. I think it's a pretty good trade-off because most of the time PVC manufacturers don't create, these gigantic, huge bases. So there it is. I think this is a great set piece for any Honkai Star Rail figure collector, especially if you're a Jingliu fan. If you can pick one up and you have the budget, 100% recommend to do so. If you still can. I don't know if this is actually still available because according to the plate, there was only 300 of these made, but I'll leave a link down below to OrangeGK's website so you can check it out if they happen to have it in stock. But if they don't happen to have it in stock, they do have a bunch of other HSR figures you can collect. I'll leave a few down below. The number one that comes to my mind right now is this Silver Wolf. I don't know if she's released yet, but God, this one looks sick. But if Silver Wolf's not your cup of tea and you're like muscular men, pick up this My Day, the bootleg Gilgamesh. He looks pretty cool too. I do believe I have a discount code for you as well for Black Friday. If you're watching this video after Black Friday, the code's probably not valid anymore, but if you're an early bird, there you go. You can use it. So once again, thank you to OrangeGK for sending out this figure so I could do a video on it. If you like the content, be sure to leave a like and a comment to boost this video up in the algorithm so that if this video does well, maybe we'll get a chance to look at more figures in the future. Now, where the hell am I gonna put you?